Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Celeste and today we will be making tomato basil soup as well as grilled cheese sandwiches. And so we are going to start off with cutting Roma tomatoes. You can use whatever tomatoes you'd like. I was cheap. I used Romas. They're the cheapest. But a combination of various different types of tomatoes actually works really well. These also are sun-dried tomatoes, which I will be rehydrating on the stove on low while this is cooking in the oven. So we're going to start off with cutting our tomatoes, and we'll be adding them into pans. I'm using a lot of tomatoes this time because I wanted a large batch, but you don't have to use this many. You also don't have to use this kind. Like I said, it was one of those cheap little let's try to make tomato basil soup. So that's what we did. So here we're just cutting up tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes, and we'll also be adding onion. I used half of a red onion, and I believe 3/4 of a sweet onion. And we're just rough chopping them, like not fancy, nothing. It doesn't have to be the same size, shape, none of that. We are just rough chopping it, adding it into the pot or into the pan, and we will be putting that in the oven at, what did we put it at? I believe it was about I want to say between 400 and 420, somewhere in there, for about 45 minutes. And it came out looking so delicious. But before that, before we put it in the oven, I'm going to add some minced garlic. This is a pre-minced garlic. I recommend using real garlic for this, but like I said, cheap, simple, just trying it out. Like, let's just do this real quick. So we had some minced garlic in the fridge. That's what we used. I used about 3 to 4 little teaspoons of that. Also using a little salt just to get the flavors out, and to also get the juices from the tomatoes to come out as well while it roasts. I'm also using black pepper, just simple seasoning, salt and pepper real quick before I throw it in the oven. And yeah, I guess this is a pre-season because I'm also using mushroom seasoning as well. I got that from Trader Joe's. Love that. I'm also using smoked paprika. Why? I don't know. Do you think of smoked flavor when you think of tomato basil soup? I do not, but that's what we're adding. And we're also going to add Italian seasoning, which has oregano and dried basil and thyme in it, I believe. And we're good to go. Hey, after it's done roasting, I put it in a blender. It was 2 batches, 1 pan at a time, and I'm just adding all of the tomatoes, seeds and all, by the way. Don't de-seed the tomatoes. I hate tomato seeds, but it's not going to matter because we're blending it anyway. So I'm adding seeds and all, the tomatoes, the garlic, the onion, and I'm adding all of that into a blender. I'm also adding vegetable broth, which we make here at home. We have veggie bags that we freeze from veggie scraps, and we make broth out of that. I have some on hand, so I'm putting that in the blender to blend it, but you can also use pre-made vegetable broth or veggie bouillon and whip up your own vegetable stock, whatever you need to do. No pressure. But I had some on hand, so that's what I'm using. And it didn't take long, just a quick little blend, and dumping that into a separate pot because that will be on the stove top, and we will be adding more seasonings to that and getting that together. So anyway, we're taking the next pan and putting that into the blender as well. This pan contained a lot of the good yummy juices from the tomatoes, so I'm going to add that into the blender as well. I had vegetable stock on hand just in case, but I almost forgot our little dried tomatoes, rehydrated sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm adding those in, as well as the liquid that I simmered them in, and that was enough liquid to blend the rest of the soup. All right, and so I'm adding that into this pan as well. That is what we got. That's the consistency. It's like a sauce consistency. So next we're adding our cashew milk, unsweetened cashew milk, and we're adding not a lot actually. I'd say like 2 tablespoons or so, if that. And we're just stirring that in. After that, we're going, oh, I forgot about our basil, actually. So we're adding in our basil. And because I forgot and I didn't know how much to add, and because I was being a weenie, I didn't know how much really to put in. So I started off with 2, as you can see here. And I washed it first. I'm rolling it up into like a cigar shape, I guess, at an angle. I'm just cutting it into little ribbons, little basil ribbons. And even looking at it here, that doesn't look like enough for a pot. So I added, I think, 3 more leaves after that. I could have used more, but like I said, I was being such a little baby and I didn't know, I know you can go overboard on basil, and I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to err on the side of caution and not use too much, but actually I could have probably used more in my recipe. But just so you know, I used 5, like 3 little leaves and then like 2 big ones, and that's what I came up with. So we're adding that into our pot here, as well as more seasonings, more mushroom seasoning. We're also adding oregano, not Italian, we're just adding oregano seasoning because why not? We're adding more smoked paprika. We're adding white pepper. Ooh, what you know about white pepper? Just kidding. I don't know much either, but we're adding that. We're also adding garlic powder because I like depths of flavors. So if it's like the dried basil with the fresh basil, the dried garlic, the powdered garlic with the, if you could call it fresh garlic, like, I don't know, different flavors, different types of things coming at you. And also a little more salt because it could have used a little more salt. I know that kind of probably looks like a lot, but it wasn't coming out, and that's why I had to shake a little more aggressively at the end. But don't judge, guys. I'm seasoning my food. I think we can all just appreciate the fact that I'm doing that in the first place. So that's what we came up with. That is our soup done. Very simple, few ingredients, very simple. Next, we're doing the grilled cheese, and we're using multi-seed bread because that's what we like. We're also using Veganese, and my mom and I were going to use butter, but we'd seen people use mayonnaise on their grilled cheeses, and we thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. And it's easier to, first of all, it's easier to spread than butter. That's just a fact. So, and actually it turned out really well, so I think we'll be doing that again. It cristens up really nicely. It's cool. So the cheese we're using is the Daya cheddar cheese slices, which we use 1.5 slices per person, I guess. And then we're also using this smoked Gouda slices from Follow Your Heart. Ooh, so good. So I'm thinking I might have to do something with this cheese one day and like try to make mozzarella sticks or something, because that cheese is delicious. So then we're adding our mayonnaise to this side of the bread. This side is what's going to go face down into our pan, which is what we'll do here. And then we're going to put mayonnaise on this side of the bread. This is what it looks like. Yes, it was a little too small. Don't judge, you guys. It still came out really well. And we also put that in the oven to melt the cheese a little bit more. And so yeah, that's what we came up with. Our grilled cheese and our tomato basil soup. And there we have it. There we have it. It was so easy. It was quick. It was simple. It took a little time only because we roasted the tomatoes and stuff. But as far as effort and prep is concerned, it didn't take a long time at all. Very easy. This is what I'm having. 4 nice scoops of my soup. So good. So proud of myself. I will be doing this again. And if you like recipes like this, if you like more things like this, please subscribe. I try to make videos twice a week. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And yeah, this is it. This is my vegan grilled cheese. Look at that. That's good. It was all melty and stuff. Ooh. Low key though, it looks like Kraft singles. If you like Kraft singles, no judgment. It wasn't my favorite growing up, but it didn't taste like Kraft. It was good. You guys, it was good. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys. I hope to see you next time, and be safe out there. Love you. Bye.